Think about your morning routine: washing a stained shirt, eating a bowl of yogurt, applying cosmetics. Behind these ordinary moments sits a massive, hidden supply chain of heavy industry. For decades, manufacturing relied on a brute force approach to solve problems. We boiled vats of chemicals at extreme temperatures, poured in harsh additives, and consumed vast amounts of petroleum just to produce the basic goods we use every day. This high-friction model is reaching its physical limits. The energy demands and waste products required by these traditional methods cannot be scaled to meet the needs of a growing global population. Look closely at those same household products today, and you will find a completely different infrastructure quietly operating inside them. Cells and proteins are stepping in to replace gears and petroleum. This is the shift toward modern biotechnology. Rather than just observing nature, we are now actively programming the genetic code of living organisms to manufacture goods. To see how this revolution actually works, we have to look at the 3 specific biological tools currently replacing traditional factories. First, there are engineered enzymes. You can think of these proteins as highly selective, microscopic chemical scissors. When you wash a shirt, they latch onto specific materials, like a complex fat or blood molecule, and cut them apart, leaving the surrounding fabric fibers untouched. Scientists use directed evolution to breed variants that survive harsh environments, continuing to slice through stains even in near-freezing water. That microscopic durability leads to massive efficiency. Because these enzymes clean effectively without hot water, consumers can run their laundry cold, saving billions of kilowatt-hours of electricity every year. These biological scissors also solved a major chemical problem. For years, detergent companies used heavy chemical cleaners called phosphates to break down dirt. When those phosphates washed down the drain, they triggered the suffocating green algae blooms you see here, cutting off oxygen and killing aquatic life. Engineered enzymes allowed the industry to phase phosphates out entirely. By swapping harsh additives for engineered biology, a high-heat, toxic household chore becomes a precise, low-energy, and ecologically safe process. The second tool scales up from isolating single proteins to rewriting entire biological blueprints: genetic modification. In agriculture, farmers traditionally sprayed fields with chemical pesticides to protect their harvests. Now, researchers insert specific genes directly into crops, giving the plants their own built-in biological defenses and reducing the need for chemical sprays. This diagram maps out a process called biofortification. A standard strand of rice DNA opens up to accept 2 new genetic sequences, one from maize and one from a soil bacterium. As the plant grows, its output changes. The yellow hue of the rice on the right indicates the production of beta-carotene. This new variant, known as golden rice, was engineered to combat vitamin A deficiency, a condition that causes blindness and immune failure in nations that rely on rice as a staple. By adjusting the genetic code of the seed itself, farming moves from a reactive, chemical-dependent industry into a proactive system for delivering nutrition. This rapidly dividing yeast cell demonstrates our third tool: precision fermentation. We can turn simple microbes into programmable manufacturing plants. Scientists take a target gene and insert it into a yeast or bacteria cell. As those microbes multiply in a fermentation tank, they read that new genetic instruction and start mass-producing specific, complex proteins. The result is real dairy or egg albumin, biologically identical to the proteins that come from a cow or a chicken. We harvest these ingredients without the land footprints, water usage, or methane emissions of raising livestock. That same microbial mechanism is also being deployed in the energy sector, feeding plant sugars to engineered yeast to ferment them into sustainable biofuels for transportation. Precision fermentation decouples the manufacturing of essential global products from resource-heavy supply chains, replacing them with a streamlined biological brew. Your laundry detergent, your food, your cosmetics, they are the end products of the advanced biological toolkit we just explored. We are going to need these tools. By the year 2050, global food demand is projected to rise by 60%. Meeting that demand with traditional scaling would require more land than we currently cultivate and generate more chemical runoff than local water systems can process. This biological toolkit, enzymes, GMOs, and precision fermentation, allows us to increase output without increasing our physical footprint or our reliance on harsh chemicals. By harnessing the fundamental code of nature, we can address the specific resource gaps required to clean, feed, and fuel human civilization.